Hi, everybody. Hi, Nathan. Hi, John. And hi, Anya. I hope you're enjoying our book, Night of the Ninjas. Now we're going to read chapters 3 and 4. What happened in chapter 1 and 2? Jack and Annie, what happened? Can you tell me? They got into the treehouse and they found it. And then it started spinning and spinning when she was wishing where to go. And then it said everything was still, absolutely still, except for the sound of rushing water. Chapter 3. Jack opened his eyes. Annie was already looking out the window. The mouse peeked out of her pocket. Jack looked out the window, too. The air was fresh and cool. The treehouse was in a tree with white flowers. The tree was in a grove of trees on the side of a mountain. Nearby, a wild stream rushed downhill. Two ninjas. What are ninjas? They're fighters that dress in black and carry weapons with them. Two ninjas were standing on rocks near the water, and they were staring at the valley below. One ninja was very tall, and the other one was short. They wore black pants and black shirts, and they had black scarves around their heads, and their swords were strapped to their backs. Sharp swords. It was exactly like the picture in the book. Jack crouched below the window. Be careful, he whispered. Don't let them see you. Why not? Said Annie. They might think we're some kind of enemy, said Jack quietly. And Annie crouched down beside him. Jack pushed his glasses into place. He had glasses on. He was like, pushed them into place. Now he was going to look at the ninja book. He picked up the book. He turned to the beginning and he read. Very little is known about the shadowy warriors called ninjas. Historians believe that ninjas lived in Japan between the 14th and 17th century. Both men and women were ninjas. Sometimes they fought to protect their families. Sometimes warlords hired them to be spies. So, reading about ninjas. And so what country were they in? Can you remember what I just said? They're in Japan. Wow, whispered Jack. We're in Japan, hundreds of years ago. Jack opened his backpack. He pulled out his notebook and his pencil, and he liked to take notes. And he wrote, Ninjas are warriors in old Japan. And that's his writing right there. Jack, whispered Annie, they're looking up. I think they know we're here. Jack peeked over the windowsill and his eyes met the dark eyes of a tall ninja. Hey-ya! The ninja cried. He dashed toward the tree. The other ninja ran too. Oh no, said Annie. We've got to go, Jack said. Where's the Pennsylvania book? Let's go back home. He and Annie looked around wildly. But where was the picture? Where is the book about Pennsylvania? It had a picture of the Frog Creek woods in it. Jack and Annie couldn't get home without it. I don't know where it is, said Annie. We've got to do something fast, he said. Pull up the ladder so they can't climb up. He and Annie grabbed the top of the rope ladder. They pulled the ladder into the treehouse. But the tall ninja just leaped up at the tree trunk and he started climbing up the tree. The short ninja followed. They climbed just like cats. Jack and Annie huddled in the corner. They were so scared because two ninjas were coming after them. The ninjas climbed into the treehouse and neither one made a sound. What would you do if you were in that treehouse? Would you scream or would you fight? What would you do if two ninjas were coming in after you in the treehouse? Would you jump out the window? I don't know what I would do. I think I would shout for help and maybe I would try to push them out. The ninjas, but they were pretty big. The ninjas pulled iron bands off of their hands. The bands had spikes like claws on them. Oh, said Annie, that's how they climbed the tree. The ninjas just stared at Jack and Annie with their dark, piercing eyes. The rest of their faces were covered by scarves. Their faces were covered like that. Jack felt frozen under their stares. He was quite scared. Annie wasn't frozen, though. She stepped right up to them and she said, Hi. Would you do that? The ninjas did not say hi back. They didn't move at all. They were as still as Jack. We're here helping our friend Morgan, said Annie. She held up Morgan's note. The tall ninja took the note from her. He looked at it. He gave it to the short ninja. The two ninjas stared at each other. They looked back at Jack and Annie. Finally, the short ninja nodded once. He put the note into the pocket of his shirt. You can help us, Annie said. Neither ninja spoke. Jack wished he could see their faces. He couldn't tell what they were thinking. The short ninja tossed the rope ladder back out of the treehouse. The tall one pointed down the ladder, and he pointed at Jack and Annie. Oh no, said Jack. Were they being captured? Us? Go with you, said Annie. The ninja nodded. Oh boy, said Annie. Oh boy, is she nuts, wondered Jack. The short ninja darted down the ladder. He went hand over hand. His feet didn't even touch the rings of a ladder. And the tall one did the same. Jack gasped. The ninjas moved very fast. They were like spiders dropping from webs. Wow, said Annie. Now's our chance to leave, said Jack. Quick. He looked around the treehouse again. Where was the Pennsylvania book? Let's go with them, Jack, said Annie. No, said Jack, this is not a game. But I think they know something about Morgan, said Annie. She started down the ladder. Come back, said Jack. It's not safe. But it was too late. Jack sighed. Why does this always happen? He asked himself. Come on, Jack, said Annie. Jack put his notebook and the ninja book into his pack. He pushed his glasses into place and he climbed down the ladder. Jack joined Annie and the ninjas on the ground. The sun had fallen behind the hills. The sky was streaked with red and gold. The mouse peeked out from Annie's sweatshirt. Don't be scared, Peanut, Annie whispered. We'll take good care of you. Great, thought Jack, but who's going to take care of us? The short ninja held Jack's arm in one hand and Annie's arm in the other. He led them through the twilight. The tall ninja walked behind them. Where are we going? Jack asked. The ninja stopped near the rushing water of the wide stream. The water roared as it raced downhill. The short ninja looked at Annie and Jack. He let go of their arms, and he pushed them towards the water. You want us to cross it? Said Annie. The ninja nodded. Then he and the short ninja stepped into the stream. They started going across. Let's go, said Jack. Let's go back to the treehouse. No, we have to follow them, said Annie, for Morgan's sake. What do you think is braver, Jack or Annie? What do y'all think? Do you think the boy, Jack, the older brother, is braver or the younger sister is braver? I think the younger sister is braver. Annie is braver. She really is. But who do you think is maybe smarter? Yep. I think Jack might be a little smarter too. He reads lots of books that makes him smart. Jack took a deep breath. She was right. Annie grabbed Jack's hand, and together they stepped into the water. Yikes, they both screamed and jumped out. It was the coldest water Jack had ever felt. It was colder than ice. It was so cold it felt like fire. I can't go back in, said Annie. Me neither, said Jack. I'll have a heart attack. The ninjas looked at Jack and Annie. Then they turned around and came back. The tall ninja grabbed Jack, and the short ninja grabbed Annie. Help, Jack cried. But the ninja just lifted Jack high into the air and put him on his shoulders. The short ninja put Annie on his shoulders. Then the two ninjas stepped into the stream again. The icy wild water swirled around them. But the ninjas moved around through the stream very fast and calm, carrying Jack and Annie on their shoulders so they wouldn't get wet. Oh, we're already on chapter 5. Is that enough? Do you want me to read chapter 5 today, or should we read it chapter 5 tomorrow? What do you think? I think we should read it today. What do you think? Okay, let's read it today. Chapter 5, Flames in the Mist. The water grew shallow again, and they were on dry land. The ninjas lowered Jack and Annie to the ground. Thanks, said Jack. Thanks, said Annie. Squeak, said the mouse. The ninjas said nothing, but they looked around. Jack looked around too. A full moon was rising in the sky. Dark rocks dotted the side of the mountain, and the ninjas started moving. They went silently up the mountain. Jack and Annie followed them. Jack was not afraid of the ninjas now. In fact, he kind of started to like them. Maybe they really could help find Morgan. The ninjas moved silently, but Jack and Annie made plenty of noise. They panted as they climbed the rocky hillside. Their wet sneakers were squishy. Suddenly, the ninjas froze. Jack could see their eyes darting around. Voices were coming from the valley below. Jack saw torches of fire flaming in the mist. The ninjas started moving faster, and Jack and Annie hurried after them. Who's carrying the torches? Annie said. So the ninjas are scared of something, and so are Jack and Annie. Do you think the ninjas are bad, or do you think that they're good? What do you think? Hmm? Hmm. I'm not sure. I think they might be good because they didn't hurt Jack and Annie. Jack was too out of breath to speak. He did not have an answer. They came to a pine forest. Night birds called out, wind rattled the branches. The ninjas moved like ghosts through the forest. They appeared and disappeared through moonlight and shadows. Jack and Annie struggled to keep up. Finally, the ninjas came to a stop. One ninja held out his hand as if to say, wait. Then both ninjas stepped away into the shadows of the trees, and they were gone. I don't know, said Jack. Maybe the book can tell us. So he decided to pull the ninja book out of his backpack and read it. He turned the pages until he came to a picture of a cave. By the light of the moon, he read, sometimes ninjas hold meetings in hidden mountain caves to plan secret missions. Oh man, said Jack, I bet they went into a hidden cave. He pulled out his notebook and pencil. He wrote, meetings in hidden caves. Jack turned the page. He stared at a picture of a ninja sitting on a mat, and he read, ninjas took orders from a ninja master. The master was a mysterious wise person who knew many secrets of nature. Wow, said Jack. And the two ninjas returned, and Jack quickly put his books away. The short ninja motioned for Jack and Annie to follow, and the shadows was the entrance to a dark cave. What's in there? Annie whispered. I think the ninja master is in there, said Jack. That is the end of chapter 5. And so we have chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can read the next time. There's 10 more, there's 10 chapters. So we can read maybe 6, 7, 8, and then the next day we can read 9 and 10. I hope you like it. That's what I got for today. Night of the Ninjas, the Magic Treehouse. Hope you like it. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget, Ami loves you. Bye.